And of course, our brand new limited Amber Turds Stained Blanket. That's right, just for your bed or wherever you need it. So head on over to Mixed Tees now and get all your apparel and goodies from Midnight's Edge.
Get up, wake up, this is your final warning. It's time for Midnight's Edge in the morning. The gang is ready to go and it's time for the show. It's time for Midnight's Edge in the morning.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Midnight's Edge in the morning. It is Wednesday. It is the middle of the week. We are past the halfway point in February, and joining me past that point is Mr. Paul Chatto, who is still with us.
Yes, I'm barely. I'm barely still with you. You know, for a show that's called Midnight's Edge in the morning, your intro theme is too loud.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more Haydn.
Yeah, like soften it a little bit. Like
need
kind of music that you like to wake up to. Like
Janice
have some more.
Just more like have a Janice Ian version, and then you can do your Eddie Van Halen version later.
Yeah, we should have basically something gentle like Chopin or something from Midnight
in
the morning.
Just do an unplugged version.
Yeah, well, that's something. Yeah. Well, I think we're quite unplugged as it is right now. Joining us in this unplugged stream is Mr. Chris Brawley.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm glad to be here at the edge of midnight in the morning.
Indeed. Of course, always of Bleeding Pool fame. So yeah, we have topics to talk about. Tom should be here over the course of the stream. He was up quite late working on, as you'll find out in time, very advanced video required learning a bit of Norwegian, which is always fun. For anyone who has seen Life of Brian when he writes in Latin, like me and Tom have had quite a few sessions like that lately. So yeah. But we have more people joining us. We have Willie the Monkey King is here. Toxic Waltz is here. Sammy Sung is here. Darking is here. Jill Powers, the River Daughter, is here. Debon Martin is here. Hypergiver, Garvin Ambrose, and many, many other familiar faces. So glad to see you all here. We have a show, and we're going to get started right away. Fighting appears to be something of a theme so far. Let's get out of it, or get that out of the way, I should say. Drew Tipton says for $4.99, forget the Pitt versus Cruz fight. The Ultra Mummy AI fights are taking over Super Sentai Twitter. Might be too risky to show on YouTube. Ultra Mummy. I haven't seen that. What I get in my feed are fatties who are fighting in the buffet and entitled Karens who are freaking out in Walmart and stuff. That's what I'm getting in my AI feed. So Ultra Mummy. I don't even know what that is.
Japanese have got some really weird monikers for their stuff.
Yeah. Is that Japanese for MILF?
Or milking mamas.
Okay. Yeah. Well, fantastic.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can see where AI might do good with that, and I can also imagine, given the warning here, that we probably don't want to show it on the stream. So
No,
yeah.
Probably
We'll
not.
just
I
have
mean,
to imagine
Japanese
definitely will.
sex culture is very bizarre.
Indeed. Hypergiver has been a member for 41 months and says, I don't want to get too hyped over the fight between Rousey and Gina, since it's Jake Paul's promotion. But damn, is Gina looking as good as ever? So yeah, that's a thing. Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano apparently will be duking it out in the octagon. That should be quite the sight to behold. And Paul, it sounded like you had opinions on that.
Jake Paul is one of the worst human beings on this planet. I will not watch anything he's involved in. I mean, he is.
Is he the promoter or something here? Is this like a Jake Paul event? Because I saw the headline, but I haven't looked at it in any more detail.
Jake Paul got his head beaten in the last fight.
Yeah, that was glorious.
He's a low life human being. He's scum. No one should be associating with him at all. He makes the Epstein files like romper room.
Unfortunately, he wasn't in that. So, yeah.
Anyway,
I think
that's
that,
just my thought.
yeah, he's the it's his promotion company that's put this together.
Yeah, it's too bad that Netflix is involved with anything to do with Jake Paul.
Well, I mean, the Tyson fight was a win for them, right? It wasn't a win for the viewers. It was a win for Netflix, right? And so it's, obviously he's going to get another one. I do think this is a great card. What's that?
Yeah, it'll be huge.
Yeah, I think it's a great
totally.
card. Yeah,
I'll watch this. I'll watch the hell out of this.
I would rather see this than Old Man Tyson getting beat up, right?
Yes,
I agree.
Would I?
So what I'm thinking of is sort of, what does this mean for Gina's career, right? I think she just didn't quite make it in Hollywood. She got her payout from Disney over that stink. I was really, really hoping, and I know we're going to talk about this topic later today. The only thing that could get me excited about The Mandalorian and Grogu is if Gina Carano's character was going to be in it. And not that she's a great actress. Not that I was a huge fan of her character. As a matter of fact, the first time I saw season 1 with her in it, I was like, she's a wrestler turned actor. That's all. Or she's an MMA fighter turned actor. And she's fine. Right. It's like, okay, I can, my disbelief has been suspended enough to accept her character.
But TV is not about good acting. TV is about bringing friends into your living room.
Yes. Yes, like an old. Go on.
There's any dozen of actors out there who are really not very good, but were very popular on. I mean, Seinfeld.
Yeah,
terrible actor.
Yeah.
But
even serious shows, Rockford Files. How many different actors would you see come through the Rockford Files before they even had movie careers? You could go back and watch old episodes of that and go, "Oh man, there's Tom Selleck or whatever," right?
Yeah, NCIS or CSI. You'll see that on that too.
Yeah.
Who else was I thinking of in the that fake newsroom show, a sitcom with the blonde woman?
Cagney. Gosh, I want to say Cagney and Lacey. That's not it.
You know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway,
not Mary Tyler Moore.
No. Mary Tyler Moore was great, but she was not a very good actor, but worked really well on TV, right? I mean, even the Bruce Willis detective show with that model, Moonlighting, she wasn't very good.
No, you're thinking of the one with Candice Bergman.
Yes, Candice Bergen,
Murphy Brown.
So these are all shows.
That's a deep cut right there. I have to say.
Yeah.
These are shows that bring friends. TV is about bringing a friend into your living room.
Yeah.
That's really
but there's with a property like Star Wars, though, bringing Jack Black on the show versus bringing an MMA fighter on the show. I don't know. To me, the Jack Black Lizzo was sort of a shark jumping moment for that show in my mind. There's some people that your disbelief cannot be suspended, but at least with Gina, it was. So I think this will be a good fight. Do we know when this fight is? I think it's in May.
Give me a second here. It's not too far away, and I have to say that Gina looks she's lost weight.
Well, she's had to know this fight was coming long before it got announced.
Oh hell yeah! Like she must have been working her ass off for quite some time.
Yeah, this will be the biggest fight.
16th of May.
Okay. Well, it'll be the biggest MMA fight of 2026, I assure you.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be watching that even.
I think a lot of people will. And you know what? I think it will be an opportunity for Gina to get back in the spotlight with a lot of earned respect. You know, she
That's why
won
she's
the
doing this for sure. But
yes, you
sorry,
know,
carry on.
she won the fight with Disney. No matter what people think, they settled. Disney was never going to change. So she got a nice payout for that. She's done a few movies, and Trump is president now. And she's probably going to look her best. Honestly, I'm rooting for her. I want her to win. And I like Rousey too. Don't get me wrong, but I'd like to see Gina win. I think that would be huge. And I hope that it goes well for everybody involved. Jake Paul, you know, notwithstanding. I dislike Logan Paul a little more than Jake Paul, but that's just me. It's hard to like anybody named Paul, right? You know, I mean, it's so tough.
Yeah.
To like
Who are those Paul? Wait a second.
It's appalling. I'll just call you Chato.
Yeah, Chato's fine.
Yeah, where we go.
That's what we used to call each other in high school. It's one of those things where I visited my brother-in-law in university many years ago, but he's much younger than me. And you know, he had his pack of pals there, and I was calling them all by their last name, and they were just completely insulted. Whereas when I was going to school, it was, hey, Chato, hey, Burker, hey, Fritz. I mean, hey, Olaf. I mean, it was just always the last name, and it was always said in a derisive way. That was fun.
There's the only people that we called by surname in my school. Well, almost. There were a couple of exceptions. But like in my group, no. Actually, there was no one called that name. That's like a generational thing, where you have loads of people in their 50s and 60s who are called that, and then no one underneath that. Maybe it's coming back in like 10 years or something. Maybe. But no, in my group of friends, there's 3 separate Espens. Espen. 3 people with that name. So it's weird coincidence. So we just go by surname for them.
Well, a lot of cousin marrying up in Norway.
You know, it's
different genes, so different families, just coincidence. Parents with no imagination at the same time, I guess.
Before we slide by Hyper Guyver's comment, one more thing I wanted to add.
Yeah,
just some context. It's Ronda Rousey that actually, you know, she's the one trying to make a comeback, and she's the one that invited Carano to be her opponent.
I'm not surprised because Carano, she doesn't need this. She'll take it for the publicity. But Ronda Rousey, she was undefeated until she was defeated. And then she was defeated really, really badly. She is the one that, if anything, has more to gain by a comeback, because basically she was the Iron Woman, then she wasn't, then she just fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
This is a good way for her to come back and be something of an underdog, if anything. So, I mean, this is a win-win. No matter who wins, the ladies win.
Yes.
And whichever Paul is organizing it behind the scenes is also winning.
And it's a win for biological women. So
that too.
Hopefully JK will be watching and rooting for the women.
I'm sure she will. So whoever wins, it's a victory for all of womanhood.
Yes.
And on the topic of names, Joe Pat says, just call him Chato the Hedgehog.
Who are these denizens
of
the internet with these insults? I don't know that. Wait, hedgehog's not an insult, I bet.
No, hedgehog is fine.
Okay, good. They're cute.
Yeah. And then we have Miller, who says, for 14 South African rounds, we missed Monday's main topic. Yeah, we did indeed. We were sorry about that. We didn't get around to it amidst the many other things, but we're going to get to it now. To wit, packing protons also says, for $5, might be a good thing you didn't make a bet with Pro and Valiant on if Skydance or Netflix gets Warner. Yeah, no, I would not make any kind of bet like this at all, because there's so many different ways that things can go back and forth in a situation like this. This, of course, is the main topic that we were discussing or we were meant to discuss on Monday. We didn't quite get around to it then, but we are about to amend that right now. Because for the longest of time now, it has looked as though Netflix were set to get Warner. They got an exclusive deal with Warner, which it would cost billions for them to break, which meant that by all conventional metrics, Paramount was out of the equation for the time being. But only for the time being, and only by conventional metrics. If there's a will, and there's a shit ton of money, there's a way. And that is what has happened in the last couple of weeks, especially in the last few days. Because right now, Warner Brothers is considering reopening talks with Paramount, which leaves Marvin to wonder over at that Park Place, is the Netflix deal in danger? And I can answer that right now. Yes, it is. It is in danger. Because if Paramount now increases their offer even more, because they have increased their offer. It's a much, much stronger offer now than it was. We mentioned this briefly on Friday. In the revised agreement, they have increased the cash offer. They have also agreed to cover the full cost of Warner having to break their exclusive deal with Netflix, and on top of that, they have a guarantee to shareholders that unless this goes through all kinds of government approval process inside of this calendar year, they're going to pay a premium to the shareholders as a compensation out of their own pocket. So, that has convinced a lot of shareholders. And also, something we have learned behind the scenes, Paramount has been doing the kind of thing that you do when you're dealing with hostile takeover, because they've been buying Warner stock left and right. So they become ever and more influential in what the body of shareholders are doing anyway. That's what we have learned so far. So that doesn't mean anything is said and done. On paper, in this moment, they are still negotiating with Netflix. This tells me, however, that that's not going to last. Paul, what do you make about this?
I had mentioned earlier when you posited this question to me that I was impressed with their stick-to-itiveness. And I thought that I'd never seen anything like this before, because usually these kinds of things, the jilted party says something or maybe ups the ante a little bit, but I've never seen it flip. I'm surprised that Netflix has not upped the ante. That is probably more instructive than what Skydance is doing right now. Netflix is quiet. I don't understand that. So maybe they're kind of happy to let this go at this point. Netflix stock has plummeted. I don't know whether that's a short-term issue. But clearly Skydance, Paramount might have more plans for this merger than Netflix has.
Chris, what about you? Are you surprised? How do you think that things are shaping up? What's going on behind the scenes, you think?
I've been surprised by all of this. It was Paramount coming in hard, making.
Yeah, they're the ones that started this, just to be clear about that. The only reason we're even talking about the Warner sale right now in this moment is because Paramount wanted it.
True.
Yep.
And then Netflix swooped in from the side with a bigger offer. And
it was
Warner
a cleaner deal. I think Netflix's
yeah.
was just a cleaner deal. It made more sense to Warner. And now Paramount has upped the ante to now they're willing to pay that $2.8 billion breakup fee if, that Warner Brothers would owe Netflix if it's not done by the end of the year. They're going to refinance Warner's debt. They're going to compensate the shareholders. Paramount really wants Warner Brothers. And
Yeah.
you said this the other day, I think, Andre, that maybe Netflix doesn't want it that bad. But I think what Netflix knows they have time, and they are probably just regrouping and determining, what's the pros and cons, what can we offer, can we outdo this offer, and is it worth it? So I think they're just crunching the numbers right now. I expect we'll hear something from Netflix this month. I don't know how quickly, but I think we'll hear something back from Netflix this month. But suffices to say, this battle's not over. And this is just sort of Paramount coming back, because our guy at bleedingfull.com, he wrote a piece that went up yesterday morning called Paramount Fights Back, Netflix's Warner Brothers deal wobbles. And he was just saying 2 weeks before that, I guess, or right at the end of January, it's over. Netflix has won and Paramount lost and Warner Brothers is the prize. So everyone had sort of counted Paramount out. So this is a surprising move. I'm impressed by it. It doesn't stink of desperation, but it certainly indicates that Paramount really, really wants Warner Brothers. So let's see where it goes.
Yeah. And the only reason why I've said, not looking good for Paramount right now is because by the looks of it, they are at the end of what they can offer. When you look at the company size of Skydance, what Skydance is worth now that they're merged with Paramount already, they are looking over to take over a company that in many regards is bigger than they are already.
Yeah.
Whereas Netflix is many times bigger than Warner, which is why it looks like on paper it should be easier to gobble up Warner when you're Netflix than when you're Paramount. So that was one of the things that many looked at. But of course, then you have to look at, well, where does the Paramount money come from? Well, it's Skydance money, which is actually OpenAI money and Oracle money, because that's where the Ellison money comes from. So if they decide to open their wallets and push in more of the family fortune in there, that of course is going to flip the equation somewhat. Also, nothing is done here until it is approved by the government. Until that happens, anyone can still come in and issue a bid. Now, of course, it's going to be more expensive and more complicated to do it later in the game, because that's when you have to pay to get out of these exclusivity deals. Like, for instance, this thing with these 2.8 billion or whatever it is, just to compensate Netflix for making Warner break the exclusivity deal. That's 2.8 billion they're not getting back again.
Yeah,
that's a cost of business.
That's huge.
And that is huge. And that only goes to show that Ellison really, really wants this, and he wants it much, much more. Now, this is something that indeed the trades warned about in advance. Even before he got Warner, they said that if he gets Warner, he's going to go on a shopping spree, he's going to buy up many, many more things. And I can, in a sense, understand it, because there's quite the catalog with Paramount. You do get some very notable brands in there that I do not blame them for wanting. Many of those brands are mismanaged as it is right now, so there's good monetization opportunities. You just need someone with a little bit more business acumen than what they've had over at Paramount for the past 2 decades, when they have been just running it into the ground. One CEO and executive after the other have just played a game of, can you top this with each other in terms of mismanagement? Because the Paramount is like a third of the value now that it was just a few years ago. Especially when you look at now, it's Paramount merged with CBS, which is worth less than what Paramount and CBS were worth individually a decade ago. So, obviously mistakes have been made. And it's a huge opportunity for the
I feel like, Netflix, if they play their cards right, they could just say, yeah, go ahead and buy Warner Brothers. And then when you guys go up for sale, we'll buy you and we'll own everything,
Yeah.
because Paramount has not had an impressive track record of late, right? How well are they running that business over there?
Well,
But
it's too early to say, and this is
yeah,
what I want people. Many people seem to think that under Skydance is going to be this anti-woke company, and no, we don't know that. Ellison is the devil you don't know. We don't know what he's going to do. We don't know how he's going to run it. Many people, they project what they want to happen into it, but we don't know that for certain. On the contrary, what we have seen in terms of statements and stuff like that suggests that the Ellisons are woke too. It's just that it's their own brand of woke. I don't know how based they are.
well, I don't either. I don't know enough about them to be able to speak on it, other than just sort of they are new owners of Paramount and Skydance and all these things. So they're barely getting their feet wet, and they've already set their sights on a prize that arguably is bigger than them. Right.
Absolutely. And not only that's the thing, they haven't even gotten their feet wet because they're still in the starting phases of restructuring. I mean, it's going to be like 2 years before we see what they're going to do with Paramount ultimately. Before then, there's no way to know. The things that I've looked at so far, I mean, I remain unimpressed. Take Star Trek. That's something that we've been looking at. In order to impress me, in order for me to say, okay, yeah, we need to give Ellison the chance, he needed to go in and needed to say, okay, we have to salvage Star Trek.
Yeah.
That's a really, really important thing. And we begin the salvage operation by stopping the bleed. So we're scrapping Starfleet Academy right now. It's not coming out. We're just taking the loss. It's never being released because it's only going to harm the Star Trek brand further, which indeed is what has happened. All of these things have just harmed the Star Trek brand. I submit that Star Trek would have been in a better position today if nothing had come out in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
For 10 years, there has been nothing but Kurtzman dreck coming out of Star Trek. The one exception to that was Picard Season 3. And Picard Season 3, however good it was, wasn't good enough to justify the existence of Picard Seasons 1 and 2, all 5 seasons of Star Trek Discovery. However many seasons there have been of Strange New Worlds, that animated Trek, now Starfleet Academy. All this has done is tarnish the brand value. And then you take that from Star Trek and apply it to everything else across the board.
Well, and that's an excellent point, but it's also, I think, important to note that just before Ellison reared his head at Paramount, Taylor Sheridan was leaving Paramount, going to NBC Universal.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise had publicly left Paramount to go to Warner Brothers. So, I mean, he would be back in the family if they did get Warner Brothers. You imagine if this was some sort of demented way to get Tom Cruise back, right? We got to buy Warner Brothers. We got to get Tom Cruise back. There's obviously nothing that silly.
Skydance has been funding Tom Cruise the whole time. They never, Tom Cruise never left.
That's
true. He may
true.
have left Paramount, but
he did, and he left
Paramount.
And that's what I'm getting at, though. Paramount is sort of a dying brand, you know.
Yeah.
I would say Warner Brothers owning that would definitely improve their fortunes. But to your point, nothing's been said about Starfleet Academy other than tee-hee, the Klingons gay, and we get a second season. Sorry for your luck, Star Trek fans. I've not seen any walk back. I've not seen any course correction with their Star Trek brand at all. I see a lot of fun ideas that come up, but that's usually
we've heard rumors.
Yeah,
I mean, the only thing we know is that apparently there's no more Kurtzman Trek after Academy Season 2, which is good, but there's still going to be an Academy Season 2, which is bad. they needed to scrap that, because that means they're going to allow the brand damage to continue. It's not going to make them any money or anything. It's just going to tarnish the brand even more before their eventual rebranding, which is coming. But exactly what form is that going to take? Do they have the right people behind it? Is that rebranding going to work? Who can say? All we know is that at least one movie is being worked on by the Dungeons and Dragons guy. And I thought that was a fun movie. Now, would I trust those guys based on that one movie to be able to bring Star Trek back from the brink? That I don't know. It's like, I know that Hollywood are gambling that these are like some new it guys, but will they really be? I don't know. We simply do not have the data to even guess where Ellison stands, which is why I say he's the devil we don't know.
Yeah. I wish they would bring in somebody like, a Gareth Edwards or a Tony Gilroy to do a Star Trek movie that, it can be high adventure, but it really leans back into the science and the epic drama, some sort of big scale. And you can touch on what's come before, but I just don't think they're taking whoever's in charge right now, whoever is the decision maker for over the Star Trek brand, is just complete. They're not Star Trek fans. Star Trek, there's so many criticisms you can make about Starfleet Academy that don't even involve the fact that it's like the CW, or Dawson's Fleet or whatever we've said, or a gay Klingon. It's just it's traded the deep space science for just shallow politics and lame jokes. The whole show's way too casual. Your Holly Hunter character is a goofball. It's more like a Starbucks than Starfleet. And
dude, she's not fit. She's not fit for command. She's not fit to serve.
I was watching, I think it was Disparu's channel or someone who said they couldn't even understand what Holly Hunter was saying sometimes because she's got that list.
Drunk.
Yeah, it's awful. And she's just phoning it in. Her and Paul Giamatti, this is paying for their second home. I would take the gig too, but it just doesn't look like anybody's taking this seriously.
Well, of course you take the gig. I mean, that's a shit ton of free money for those willing to work on this.
Absolutely.
I mean, to me, this is Alex Kurtzman robbing Paramount blind on his way out the door. That's just what it's looking like to me.
But if you're willing to pay 2.8, listen, hear me on this. If you're willing to pay $2.8 billion just to break the Netflix deal, you ought to be able to pay whoever is contractually obligated for a season 2 of Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Pay that too. I mean, while you're at it, add another $0.1 billion to that 2.8 and get that show off the air and show me that you've got some cojones to really right the ship. And I've said that from the beginning. I would much rather Paramount be more concerned about righting the ship over there than trying to acquisition more content.
Indeed.
More license, more content they can air. So
indeed. I also say if it's a woman in charge, she doesn't have to show us her cojones, but she can show us that she has some ovaries and do the exact same thing, because it's the right thing to do, and it's how you would win back favor with the audience. Mr. Chato, any final topics on this? Oh, sorry, any final comments on this before we move on to the next topic?
Well, the only thing that we're not talking about is that this is a more classic merger between similar businesses, and Warner's they're going to lose a lot of employees, because in every merger, the one way you pay for it is to find efficiencies.
Yeah,
that's you have one accounting department, and
synergies.
There you go. So that's the one thing no one is talking about right now with regards to this deal.
In the ideal world, the Department of Justice is just going to scrap the whole thing and say, no, Warner, you can stay right where you are with Discovery. You're doing well there.
But
That would be the ideal situation, but that's not going to happen.
I'm
Discovery
I'm
only
actually in
wants
the middle of writing a piece on just, have we really found or arrived at the nexus that people have been predicting for decades with regards to the power that Hollywood has maintained and what independent producers are able to do. We've now been observing, at least since the beginning of January, which companies seem to be on the move. Let's not deal with television because that's kind of a lost cause, network television. But I mean the who have been charting on the theaters, right? And now we've just got this weird list of distributors that I mean, I'm vaguely familiar with them, but at one point it would have been Sony, Disney, Warner's, Paramount, Sony, Disney, Paramount, Disney, Sony. That's what the the main listings were when you were looking at the box office, right?
Yeah.
Now it's like a wild west of
But yeah,
distributors.
that's a
And
paradigm shift in real time.
yeah, and we've talked about independent productions having some kind of effect, but I think they finally will. And then we've got this Markiplier watershed thing. Now, as I mentioned when we first talked about it, we have to be careful. Is this a one-off? Right? Because people with money like to come back and punish other people without money.
Yeah, that's
But
very
uh,
very
but
cherishable of them.
but if and let's say this silly little Canadian movie does something, the Nirvana, the Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, if it
Which
does
has nothing to
something,
do with Kurt Cobain, but yeah.
nothing to do with Kurt Cobain, and if it gains some traction, and the other science fiction movie, Don't Die, whatever, Have Fun, Don't Die, that's also almost like a independent production also.
Yeah.
So there's an awful lot of small movies that are being created that could very well take over the theaters. And the thing is, the theaters are not going to be loyal to the studios if they can't deliver products that allow them to stay in business. They, independent of Disney going in and saying, "Oh, we're taking over all the screens for the next month, and fuck you, and you're going to have to put up with the fact, or you're not going to get our next 12 movies." They don't have that power anymore.
Yeah.
That's gone.
I brought up this super chat because it goes right into what you're saying here. So we'll, just to finish off the topic. Dark King says for $5 Australian, regardless of who gets Warner Brothers, has any Hollywood studio given any sign of having a plan for the future? Midnight Edge's recent video on Iron Lung and AI highlights the threat. Yeah, that's the video that we put out yesterday. Do make sure to check that out if you haven't seen it. To what you're saying, has any Hollywood studio given any sign of having a plan? Here's the thing. The traditional Hollywood studios, they have an infrastructure and an economy system that makes it difficult for them to adapt. That is why you are suddenly now seeing all of these new distributors come out of the woodwork. They are the ones that have the plan, and they are the ones that have the economies of scale to make it work at current levels. That's my hypothesis right there.
And you can tell. And you can tell, proof of what I've been talking about for years, that the networks have no idea what to do with the digital synergies, especially as it relates to YouTube. Tossing up your silly little clips from your talk shows is not synergy. And I don't know whether this is something that maybe YouTube is not letting the networks do, or maybe the networks never thought of it. But if you go to YouTube and you take a look at CBS or NBC, their homepage, let's call it, is no different from any of our shitty little pages, right? You've got, the feature.
It's a standard thing how you do it,
right? But these should be specialty channels within YouTube. and they should look like NBC, CBS, ABC, and whoever else. They should all have the same mechanism for their interface, but it should be unique from the stuff that the plebes are getting. It's way too generic. It's not branding identified. It doesn't look really slick. I don't
personally,
understand.
I'm really happy that they don't get that kind of preferential treatment.
No, but they should pay for it.
Me.
No, but they should be paying for it.
Yeah.
But any studio should be able to get a better, more brandable experience within the YouTube environment. I don't understand why that doesn't exist.
Well, personally, I'm very glad that it doesn't. Chris, any final words on this before we move on here?
No, I agree with you. I feel like the government's going to stop this probably.
Well, I don't think they will. I hope they will.
I think they will. I think there's going to be. I think that'll be the next. I think that'll be the third act in this drama. They'll figure it out. They'll figure out some way to pull it off, but there will be some drama there, I think. And in the meantime, you talk about Markiplier's Iron Lung and AI and whatnot.
Well, and the writers' union members are striking the union itself.
Well,
it's insane what's going on, right? It's
that's crazy.
Who may know more about what's going on with the writers' union and stuff like that is Polly of Latinos Lab fame.
Hey, there he is.
Hey. Script Doctor as well, but Script Doctor is not in the green room. Polly is.
Yeah, Polly, can you offer any insights on the writers' members striking their union? What's that about?
It's not the members. It's the staff of the Writers Guild building. It's their employees. It's their employees.
Well, that's insane.
This is even worse, right? It shows you elite,
wow,
people in charge, Writers Guild people in charge can't even pay their staff, and the staff has had it. This is Maoist, socialist, let's play fun with employees and our memberships to the nth degree, and they're getting I'm down for this one, man. So yeah. I talked to a couple of Writers Guild members yesterday, and that's what's going on. Unreal.
Fantastic. It's great when you have a union that's really fighting for its members.
it's like it's the Ben Stiller in the Underdogs, where he's a personal trainer and then he's eating those donuts.
Well, the Washington Post let go a crap ton of people, and I saw some videos, and it was funny how the people who were protesting against their job loss, the main theme was, we deserve these jobs. That was weird. I've never heard of anything more nonsense than that. Where does that come from? We deserve these jobs. We shouldn't be fired because we offer a service, and they have no right to fire us. What? What planet? And this, listen, as a Canadian, I expect strong capitalist entrepreneurism from the United States. Where did all your commies come from?
Hollywood. Hollywood. And the biggest capitalists of them all are like the wealthy Hollywood successful people, and this is fun and games for them, and then get to stick it to any current administration or whatever it is, their New World Order garbage that they want to try to put down. And it's Hollywood and academia. So we'll see what's going on with this one. But this is not.
Well, you have to be able to afford to be a communist.
Those people can afford to be communists.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah.
It's very, very expensive to be a communist if you can't afford it. So
you should see my expenses.
really, just to backtrack a little bit with the Paramount thing. Current news I got.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna say one word:
Yeah,
upheaval.
upheaval. Yeah, well, that's obvious, but where? In Paramount? Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Oh, for sure.
So,
Hell yeah.
but we,
I'd love to be a fly on the wall in both Netflix and in Warner and in Paramount. And dude, those flies, they would have one hell of a conversation if they knew what was going on in all those places. But yeah, no, that's people that's a high stress environment, I should imagine.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Hollywood has always been a high gossip level entity. When I
Indeed.
was
Speaking
there,
of,
gossip was something that you traded at lunchtime. To tell you seriously, if you went to a lunch and you didn't have some morsel to convey to someone, they were pissed off at you.
yeah, no, it's a currency, isn't it?
Currency, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to know the dirt on someone in order to
Yeah.
to have to be worthwhile. I mean, why else would people have lunch with you? Business they can do anytime. They don't need the lunch appointment for business. They need that for the gossip.
I hated the long lunches in LA. Drove me nuts. I didn't have the patience for it.
Yeah. But yeah,
everyone's
well,
trying to get theirs, man. You know, at
What?
this point, everyone's just trying to get theirs at this point. You know,
Survive.
you know, everyone's just trying to hustle their mediocre work, and they expect you to lower your integrity. You know, I just
Hmm.
was at an event the other night with where Romy got to be you know, be part of a performance, invite only for a new script, and there were some, you know, some shakers there, some people whose movies you've probably have seen, and then there's the quiet ones, right? The quiet ones that have had success. They're not peddling. They're not, you know, asking you to do anything. You know, it's really extraordinary because that is on par on course with Hollywood. Is that it's a next level above hanger-ons, right? Hanger-ons don't do shit, and that's a lot of people in Hollywood. It's the people who've done mediocre work and have a higher sense of themselves, and unfortunately, uh, Hollywood does reward those turkeys, you know. So yeah, Hollywood's Hollywooding right now.
yeah, indeed. And fighting is also fighting, to which Packing Proton says fights and boxing is gay. They throw weak-looking punches for about 2 minutes, then do hugging exercises like they are worn out. So yeah, Paul, have you heard that fighting is gay?
I'm not into fighting at all, which
No,
makes me
but
gay.
Paul is. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's funny because I think the people that have never done any any real training, they just take a look at it as like, it's gay, or you know,
I've
Western
done boxing
boxing.
training. That was fun.
You know, it's great training. I train
Yeah.
I train every day with it. But
One of the
yeah, what do
best.
you guys think of the Carano Rousey?
yeah, we spoke about it a little bit earlier. Actually, we did speak about it. That's what motivated this super chat, no doubt. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm watching that for sure. Hell yeah.
What do you think?
Did they fight each other before?
I
No,
think so. Yeah. No,
no,
they've never fought before.
no,
Okay.
no. They weren't. They are different eras.
Yeah.
Gina's a little older, a little before Rousey. And
Yeah, so basically, Ronda Rousey, she should be the favorite.
Man, they both haven't fought in such a long time. That's always a problem. So I guess that kind of neutralizes. It's gonna be who makes the first mistake, and then who's got 2 to 3 different levels of strategy with that opponent. My money is on Rousey, just because if she gets a hold of Gina, which is what I recommend, Rousey's got a killer. She was a judo Olympic level champ.
Right.
And that's how she really she was a one-trick pony for a long time as far as her takedown move right to a killer armbar. She won a lot of fights, the UFC fights like that. But what happened is that she started believing in her own lore, and her coaches told them, "Hey, stay in the pocket. You can strike, you can fight, you can with your hands." And that's when she started getting rocked, and she got rocked really badly by a kickboxing champion, Holly Holm.
Yep.
And Holly was the one who upset and took the thing. And Ronda's never been the same. And she tried to come back one time against Amanda Nunes, and
fight,
that's another thing. See, okay, so there's two things here, right? There's Ronda versus. So on paper, I got Ronda. I love both of them. Romy's worked with Ronda, so we're like a little part biased. She's a wonderful person, and she is strong. So I was like,
just
wow.
look at the pictures of her shoulder. I mean, that's some real strength right there that you can't fake.
Yeah, and not that Gina isn't. So my edge is on Rousey. But Rousey going back into fighting, that is, the sport has gotten better. The fighters, the women have gotten better, and it's 10 years is a long time. And Rousey's had kids. She has her. I'm kind of really surprised, but then again, she's a fighter, man,
and she has a name. I would love it if they both beat the shit out of Jake Paul.
My thing is, I don't want their these are good looking ladies. They can go back into movies. I don't want to see on TV their busted up faces.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm totally in touch with you. Yeah.
Well, but, would they agree with each other not in the face?
No. Then it's not a MMA fight.
Exactly.
It's not an MMA fight, and
people will boo.
I would think that Rousey is. They've both been working hard. They've been training hard for months now. And
you can tell on Gina like how much weight she has lost.
Yeah. Well, and then and we're gonna break it down when we go live in a few hours. But Rousey had seen Gina on a podcast maybe a year or so ago, and Gina looked terrible, and she did look terrible. She looked very unhealthy, overweight, and so that's what kind of like spurned Rousey to say, let's try to make this happen, because it was supposed to happen like 10 years ago. That would have been dope. I just feel that these are just two older fighters.
Yeah, they are significantly older in the case of Gina Carano. And I agree with you. I also think that on paper, Ronda Rousey should win this. Certainly, if it comes down to the mat and to grappling, then Rousey definitely has it. Where Gina Carano has a chance if she lands a really powerful strike. I don't know for sure. But I just imagine that since Gina Carano in principle has more body mass, there's more power behind her punches and her kicks. I don't know, but I haven't seen it in the fight. But they just seem like so very different fighters, and we know from before that is Rousey's weak spot is actually when it comes to blows, that she's at a disadvantage.
Yeah. But again, age is it could cancel out everything we just said. So we'll see who shows up. I think it's interesting that it's a week before the Mando movie comes out. I think it's interesting that Carano and what they announced last fall as far as her vindication, and we're looking for opportunities to work with her again, and she's great to work with other coworkers. And now that KK is out, I'd said this, when the news came out, I go, don't be surprised if she shows up in that movie.
Yeah,
and her being on a Netflix MMA fight, that's huge promotion for the film. Oh my God.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, because that's goes straight into our next and final topic of today, other than what's in super chats, and that is that we just had the full trailer for the Mando and Grogu movie. Now, this was a trailer that did not feature Gina Carano's Cara Dune. And if she's in the movie, this is a case where I feel that they probably should put her in the trailer, provided that she has a role of more than a couple of minutes, because that movie, Lord, it's going to need all the help it can possibly get in order to get the audience interested. As for me, I was not impressed with the trailer, because I'm completely out of it after the fighting of Gina Carano. I haven't even seen the bulk of season 3. I've seen bits and pieces here and there. Didn't care, because I knew what happened behind the scenes, and so I wasn't interested anymore. And what I did see only confirmed my suspicions that they didn't have it. It wasn't the same anymore. The spirit was gone. It was just the Mandalorian in a flesh skin suit, basically. And even here, I have to say, even Pedro Pascal, I mean, yeah, he's been in too many things, but he's a really, really good actor. Can't take away that in all the movies he's in, he may not always be the right person for the role, as was the case with Reed Richards, but everywhere else, I mean, he's there, he's nailing it. But in this case, I mean, he must have been in the back of a car and called in his lines or something, because that was so flat that I practically fell asleep just listening to the lines of Mando himself. But hey, that's me. Mr. Chato, I know that you have different thoughts on the Mandalorian trailer for the full movie.
Trying to just view it as entertainment, it looked entertaining. Like I've now seen a lot of hate towards this trailer, but if I have to put it up against a whole bunch of other Star Wars trailers that we've now seen over the last, seven or so years, this had looked at least very George Lucas-y. I mean, it had its puppets, it had its 3D, things like that. I thought it looked like fun. So please impale me.
I think if I could weigh in, to me, it just feels like, this is going to have sort of the same taint that like the X-Files or Firefly, which had a TV series and then did a, cinematic theatrical released film. But this looks cheaper than everything. I personally, for me, I haven't gotten excited about any of the Disney Star Wars movies other than The Force Awakens and Rogue One. When I saw the trailers, both of those trailers really grabbed me. And I'd be lying if I didn't admit that even The Last Jedi, the initial trailers had me fired up, but that was mostly to see if we could finally see whatever the mystery box was that J.J. Abrams had made. This has a lot less excitement for me. Number one, because I'm probably not a Grogu fan. I mean, we might as well bring back the Ewoks or Mogwai, or the Mogwai, right? I mean, we're just doing that it's a product placement thing. That the character is several years old now, and he's still pushing the buttons. The opening trailer, the opening of the trailer is a goofy Marvel type joke. And even the hut doesn't, I mean, it looked better when it was a big giant puppet in Return of the Jedi. This looks way too CG. All the monsters look very rubbery. It just looks a little bit cheap, and I still don't even know what the story is. What we're going to worry that the Mandalorian isn't going to be around to protect Grogu forever. I mean, is that the heft of what this story is? I mean, I don't know. It wasn't enough for me. And to be honest with you, I would like to get excited for it. I remember when the TV series first began, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was sort of that Man with No Name vibe.
Yeah, it was brilliant at the
And
time.
yeah, it was like a Western in space type thing. And it was very interesting. But after a while, after a while, him just wearing the helmet the whole time, you sort of can't really connect to him dramatically with any sort of emotion. It's sort of this dry, deadpan delivery, which isn't really Pedro's style, I guess. And some elements, I like cheese. Don't get me wrong. I even like the original Planet of the Apes TV show, right? And there were some elements of this that reminded me of that. Maybe it was the musical score or whatever. But I don't know. Maybe I still have a little bit of Pedro Pascal fatigue. I think there's probably going to be a little bit of an element of that. And I also think that, again, that this is based on a TV show, much like X-Files or Firefly, or, obviously The Simpsons and South Park have done TV shows too, and The Muppets and so on, and Jackass. I mean, this won't be the first time a TV show has had a theatrical release, but I don't think that's something in its favor, because I think by season 3, a lot of people had already kind of tapped out. So I don't know. To me, unlike Paul, I wasn't really that thrilled with this.
I didn't say I was thrilled. I said it was a fun trailer.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I said.
I want to go
That's
on the
fair.
next ride. Let's go on the next ride. That's me. To me, I was like, I don't know. Oh, and I would have liked to have been excited. I'm not disposed to not like it. I don't know. Didn't care for it.
I think you're dragging your baggage.
Maybe. But my shrink, I have no appointments with my shrink between now and May 16th or whenever this is coming out. I know. Sorry, Disney. What do you think, Paulie?
I think this is the wrong crowd to convince them to go see this film.
Which is a shame, because we should be the target audience.
Yeah.
Right. But that being said, I think it is going to be a huge hit with the crowd that they're going after.
Which crowd are they going after?
General market, families, kids. This is swashbuckling, silly fun. That's what I'm totally with Chato. I thought it was entertaining. I mean, and if it goes back to form where it can have a little bit of the cool, take him down of season 1. Yeah, because season 3 was just, the nightmare. It's got a shot. I also think that these other films, like the Supergirl, is just so bad that the Grogu baby Yoda, merchandise stuff, which is really strong with a lot of normies, that's gonna get a lot of butts in the seats, like it or not. But again, the Midnight's Edge crowd is not, they don't want to hear what I just said.
Yeah.
And I respect y'all in the chat.
Yeah, no, but I'm pretty sure people can take it. They can have differing opinions. We certainly should be able to do that. Otherwise, you're an echo chamber, and that's not good, regardless of where one
Yeah,
stands.
yeah. I'm just not trying to I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody. But the thing also too, the Pedro Pascal fatigue is just with a certain fan base, and I get it. But I think that people are going to be unhappy no matter what. Mask on, mask off. So
Favreau, yeah, actually, I think the mask off actually hurts it, because he's been so saturated. It's like, oh, there's Pedro. Because one of the neat things about the first Star Wars movie is we didn't recognize any of these people. It's like, oh, you may have recognized Harrison Ford from the previous Lucas movie.
So Favreau doesn't think so, and Lucas doesn't think so. So that's why they're going full steam ahead. They're saying starring Pedro Pascal. They will show his face.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to who are the certain people that he's talking to. We don't see that as far as which characters, which can be interesting, because we don't have Carl Weathers' character anymore.
Mhm.
Could he be talking to Cara Dune? I think that would turn a lot of people in this fandom to being, oh, maybe I'll go see it now. Maybe I'll go support Gina. But you're not gonna. A lot of those people have left.
In the end, whether a movie reaches the heights of expectations that we have for it, and we have very high expectations. I'm now seeing movies coming into the theater, as I mentioned in my previous review, that no longer feel like homework. They might not be the best movies in the world, but I'm now being just purely entertained. As I mentioned, Good Luck, Don't Die. Wasn't a perfect film, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was worth the money. That silly little Canadian film, Nirvana, absolutely great effort. I wasn't insulted. I'm just tired of the movies that really don't try to entertain on the simplest level. There's that movie Companion, which I loved because it was
Great
a simple movie.
One of my
It was
favorite of
just
last year.
yeah. And to me, those kinds of movies are the bellwether for the kind of movies that need to come into Hollywood. No agenda, no social agenda, just full on trying to entertain us without like massive pyrotechnics at the very end. Like I don't need to see CGI festivals. It's not what I need. But we're seeing movies that are just purely entertaining, like Alejandro's movie. I went, wow, I was entertained. It was so refreshing. So, to me, this is a win. And I look at this trailer in exactly the same way that, wow, this could just be entertaining, which I hope it is.
And but just one more thing too, which gives me which jumps on your thing. This is Favreau in his best flex. This is a feature film, action. He's proven himself time and time again to really entertain us, and that's what I'm hoping for as well. And with hopefully he had no KK interference at all in making this film. Yeah.
I like Favreau. He's made some great movies in the past that I can't remember the name of the one about the food truck operator, chef. Yeah, fantastic movie. I highly recommend it. So it is in good hands. I'll give you that. I think you're right. If Carano just made even the briefest of appearance,
that'd be nice.
If she made the briefest of appearance, especially timed with that fight, some Midnight's Edge chatters, I'll bet would be out there opening weekend. And that would be a smart play by Disney. Did anybody catch Martin Scorsese's voice acting? So he's a little alien, and so it's absolute cinema. So we'll have to give Disney.
So I have this idea. The Mandalorian is in an X-wing, and he's going along the canyon in a Death Star, and he's trying to hit this portal. And Gina Carano comes out of nowhere and saves him from being shot down by TIE fighters. How's that?
Oh, I love it.
It's
totally original idea.
Totally. Oh my gosh. Now, what is a Death Star again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we've only seen it in 3 movies.
Yeah.
Note to the Empire: Death Star does not work. Stop.
Someone in the chat was talking about AI and Hollywood. Something happened yesterday that struck me. There are these fan edits out there. Topher Grace actually famously did a fan edit of the prequel films. But the problem with fan edits is there's always some element that didn't exist in the original dish, in the original film, that you can use in a unique way, maybe to tie things together. So I saw this AI version of Anakin and Padme out in the field. We've seen the meme 100 times, right?
Yeah.
And she starts talking, and it suddenly occurred to me, AI could create the missing little scenes you need to make the perfect fan edit. So you could take
Fan edits are gonna go wild with AI.
That's what I think is going to
sure.
happen. I think you're going to get much better fan edits in the future. So I'm here for it. I saw an AI, the first AI movie. It was a short, maybe 5 or 7 minutes. A Japanese creator who appears in it as himself, talking to what's that?
The Chinese. It's the Chinese one.
Chinese. Thank you. Thank you for that correction.
I mean, they're all the same. Come on, move on.
No. Thank you. Seriously. All Europeans are the same too. What I mean is it was meta. It was so meta that it was the first clever AI use, because it was making light of itself in a very meta way, which made it interesting. And I wanted to watch it. And I suddenly thought, because you've seen that footage of Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise fighting.
Yeah. Yawn.
Yeah, totally yawn. And the Spider-Man flying through the rain, through the city or whatever. They all look like these video game cutscenes with absolutely no soul whatsoever, no humanity at all. But when I saw this, I thought, yes, it looks like AI, but this storyteller is telling a story with these tools.
Yep.
The element that is needed is the human storyteller. That cannot be replaced.
I look forward to. Yeah, sorry, carry on. No, sorry, carry on.
Well, when I saw that and Iron Lung, between the two, the ground is tectonically shifting in Hollywood.
Totally.
And the losers are going to be the ones that lean into the Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise fighting. The winners are going to be like this Chinese director or Iron Lung, the independent filmmakers that Pauly is constantly promoting, and the indie creators that we promote over
that come on here.
Yes, that's right.
That come on Midnight's Edge.
But
Indeed.
Also effectively using AI.
You know what? I'm going to say this right now. Tom can come on my face. I'm just happy he's here.
Goodness gracious. We just got dark and dirty on Midnight.
Wow. I'm just happy to see Tom.
I just ruined Andre's clip. I'm sorry.
Oh, shoot.
That's funny. Tom, we're glad you're here, pal.
It's easy to chop out, Andre.
The Chinese AI thing that you're referring to, I saw it also. He's a serious Chinese director, very creative, and he used it in exactly the way a legitimate talent who has embraced the technology would use it.
Yes.
In his hands, because there were 2 versions of him in the movie. And then the punchline was, while you're watching it, you were made to think that one of them was really him. And then the other one was a AI clone. And the punchline was that both of them were AI clones. And he was off camera directing this AI. And it was, as I totally agree with you, extremely well done.
Yes.
In the hands of a legitimate movie maker.
Precisely.
Or just a creative storyteller.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is
like
the difference.
Tom. I mean, Tom has done some
like
stuff
when
with it in music. Sorry.
This is like when digital came about, digital cameras, right? Because there was this need to stay with film. Film had this better, visual quality, and now we're putting these cameras at consumer pricing in the hands of people who are making film with much cheaper products. Someone made the argument the other day, and she's a filmmaker herself, and she said, why would I want to pay slave wages to an animation farm when I could just eliminate that cost and have the AI do the animation for me? Right?
Yeah.
Not for me, meaning I'm just going to enter a simple prompt and whatever it comes up with, that's what I'll cut together, but actually directing it. And anyone who's in the visual arts these days is using AI to some degree. I'm currently cleaning up old scanned archives of comics for a reprint edition we're doing next year. And we're using AI to do the initial pass through to get rid of some of the staining and browning and so on. And we have it in Photoshop. We run it through the AI, which is Prom AI is the name of that platform. And then we bring it back to do final cutting. And sometimes the lettering needs to be reworked and some other things, but it drops hours off of the processing time. And so it's just a tool that's there. And obviously there's no soul being lost because it's still a human that created the original art and wrote the original story. It's just a matter of a tool. So,
well, I don't think there is going to be a market for fully AI created product. What's going to happen is that the independent producers, rather than spending a month or 2 months shooting, they have their usual crazy 2-week schedule. But rather than shooting a movie with all their shot lists, what they're going to be doing is concentrating on input content, because that's the key. They're going to map out an AI movie, use their 2 weeks to create input, still frames, action sequences, people talking with each other, shooting real actors talking, collecting their voices, and then they're going to use AI with all this input content to create something viable. That is what we're going to see. Yeah. That will be interesting.
Maybe some ADR at the end if needed.
Absolutely. But it's all about what I've been seeing is that the systems like Seed Dance really work well with input. You put 4 stills in, and now you would do this for every 15-second clip.
Yeah.
Because it kind of falls apart after 15 seconds.
Yeah.
But then again, when you're shooting a movie, most cutaways are like 1 second, 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Rarely do we have long Woody Allen style walking sequences. So that's not an impossible task. So yeah, it's going to be all about the input.
That's you guys were talking about the fan films just before I got in here and I was listening, and we're already there, right? Like I've already had somebody send it to me. I don't know how far they've gotten since then, but because I had mentioned that the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck would be damn near perfect if they could just get rid of that stupid sequence in the park. But there was just one piece of information that Elektra gives up that you kind of need.
Right.
So he went and fixed the diner scene with AI to where she just puts the information in there. And like, if you could just do something like that, with a lot of little different things here, it's real easy to do. Tom. Exactly. Yeah, it's real easy to do when you have that. The thing is, right now, is a lot of people are doing amazing things with the limitations they have. That's what impresses the piss out of me, because 9 times out of 10, when I'm trying to do something for the show, for not the show, but for a video or whatever, a lot of these won't allow you to use, actual people, right? So if I say Bob Iger doing this, right, it won't let me do that because Bob Iger's a real person or whatever, or same thing with like a copyrightable character most of the time. But if you get yourself with your hands on one of these that's completely unfiltered, can you imagine what you could do? And that's kind of what we're seeing with this Sedence thing or whatever, however you name it. Call it.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Yeah. And that's where these guys are getting sued right now, because Hollywood is fucking scared because they saw that clip.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is a fucking huge leap. Yep. And I wish I could find that clip again. I got to ask, I think it was Yellow Flash or somebody who showed it.
About the girl in the Tesla truck and
no, I'm actually talking about where somebody compared each and every evolution of Will Smith eating spaghetti.
Yeah.
And it is Sedence that put this video together. I'm pretty sure. Because it talks about, like, Will Smith is actually talking about the program.
Yeah.
And the scene looks like it's been shot, for a movie. The sun looks right.
Yep. The
movement looks right. And then when you're hitting points like that where it's tricking the piss out of me, that's saying something. The reason I say that is because I was like, I'm not special by any means, But I am somebody who actually, I think, upset somebody in the industry when they tried to prove to me that I couldn't tell the difference between CGI and actual reality. And after about 3 tests, he gave up because I think I got everyone right to where he just got frustrated and quit. Because even in still images, I can still tell there are dead giveaways. And that's why AI for the longest time now has been like, oh, I can see it right away. It's AI. But when I'm seeing certain videos like that, yes, there's still some little AI-isms in there here and there, but we're getting to that point where it's so minimal. Like what you guys are saying, especially with quick shots and certain things. Like David Fincher already fixed Seven with a shot that he wanted to extend like a few seconds of Brad Pitt with AI. So we've already had it in released films.
Yeah, who was the first to do this? Was Lucas.
Technically, I think. I don't know if he used AI, though.
But Premiere, Adobe Premiere, the video editing software.
With the technology.
Right, the idea of it, yes. But like we've already come to the point where this last year, we had Brad Pitt AI in Seven because David Fincher just wanted to extend a shot for a few seconds or whatever it was. Sure, it's just a few seconds. But it's that point.
And the Adobe Suite allows you to do that right now to generate, sort of extend a shot, and it'll even do a slight camera movement. If something driving down the road.
I think that's what he did exactly, pretty much.
For a few seconds. And it would have been great if they had actually done that in Rogue One. I think it would have been much better had they done that rather than the way that they did Leia and Toph.
It's also where deepfake always came in and worked better than, in my opinion, than the CGI part of it.
Yep. So, because I think that the deep fake stuff is probably just part of the evolution of where we are now.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, deep fake was an earlier form of the AI. Yeah.
It's incredible.
But Miller says, looking forward to AI restoring missing. See, this is the things that I think it can be used for best. Things we can't fix, can't find. Like they remastered Masters of the Universe with what elements they did have on hand. And I'll be honest, AI is there to where it can do simpler animation at this point and make it convincingly upgraded to 1080p or 4K. There's still some minor issues here and there, but I was pretty convinced by that He-Man box set until I watched enough episodes to start seeing a few of the little anomalies here and there to go, oh yeah, okay, so this is the better version from the UK, but it's been now up converted, but it looks good. You're not really losing any details. You're gaining, if anything, and there's enough there in the original version that the AI can extrapolate and make it better. But now if you're looking at something that's a little less quality, those you can really tell too, because they look like, videotape that's been dubbed 13 times. Yet they think that looks good. It's like, no, it looks soft as piss. You were better off just leaving it alone at its standard 380 or 480, whatever it was. I mean, I know Paul knows.
Yeah, it looks like there's like a Vaseline smear across.
Exactly. It's like, why even bother with that? Like, just give us the standard look. Now, that Beatles documentary, there was some old video footage they managed to update.
Boy, they did.
But they pulled back on that glassy / whatever type look you were talking about.
It's all about refinement. It's just somebody that really knows how to do it. It's just like an automobile. Some people really know how to drive them beautifully. It's like an instrument that knows how to play it beautifully. The instrument is the instrument. It's the user. It's the person who's saying, okay, that's good enough for us. Is that the best you can get it? Okay. We've done that. We've taken an old 360p animated piece that was put together by a creator like 15 years ago, and we up-resed it to 4K, but we had to go through multiple passes until we got something that really looked pristine.
Well, sometimes you almost got to go shot by shot.
Well, it's just about, and you can kind of tell in some areas that it looks a little, some lines may not have the same thickness that they should have in areas, but man, on the whole, it's such a market improvement over what you had that I don't see why more companies aren't doing it. Matter of fact, I don't see why DC Comics and Marvel Comics aren't taking their old comics, feeding them into AI and saying, animate this exactly the way the artist did. Here comes a royalty check to those artists and writers. And because you've just got a content generator right there.
They're not smart enough to do that, though, but you're 100% correct.
We are unfortunately losing,
we are losing Paul. I came in real late. Sorry, guys.
Yes, we are.
So, Paul, you wanted to finish up and get out?
I'll have an appalling news today. Lots of appalling, and I need to save my voice to just get those shows up and running. And I can't waste all my good voice on you assholes.
No, of course not.
Yeah, no, that's worth that. So
Sounds like you haven't used any of it today, Paul.
What's true? I've been very
not your
very
good voice anyway.
sparing.
Yeah, you've been using your bad voice. Paul,
yeah, you've been using your bad voice all day.
Voice. Well, I am circumspect. Well, that's because
you're not supposed to talk about that on the air, and I didn't know you were Jewish.
Bye, everyone. Have a good one.
So long, pal.
Thanks.
Take care.
But yes, so let's see what you got. You guys got some super chats here.
I do love that idea about restoring the missing Doctor Who stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they could really.
It will happen.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
I think so too. And not only that, here there's so many amazing movies that were written but were never made. Like for instance, Jodorowsky's Dune.
Just think of
Oliver
all
Stone's Conan the Barbarian. Those
in the
scripts
books
exist. Just
like
just give AI the script, let it do the rest, or a book.
Like
for that matter.
a book, yeah. Like look at like a movie like Jaws, right, where the book is way different than the movie. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't sit there and watch like a mini series version of the book. You know what I mean? Just an AI could do that for me.
What if they fed the entire Jaws movie from Spielberg into the AI and said, "Now make this follow the script or the book"? Would you? I'd watch
do that.
Even if it was trash. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it would be garbage, but still, that's the point. Is you can point out and say, "Now, see, this is why you don't do that."
Well, and furthermore, I think you mentioned this. The AI will also, there will be slop created. There will be people who take the Steamboat Willie and say, take Steamboat Willie into a World War II naval fight or something,
or just having Ariel fuck a Ninja Turtle. Yes, you'll have that too.
That will take place, and that will be content that the studios provide.
What I'm kind of scared of most is them getting lazy. See, we've already seen it. Yeah. Like with things like I Love Lucy, for instance, was a grand example where instead of just remastering it like they're supposed to, they used AI, and then you get the weird faces and all that other kind of crap. Yeah. And they've been doing that lately instead of just rescanning stuff like they should. They'll take the old 480p master and they'll just convert it.
Yeah.
And they think that's good enough.
You got to watch it. It's dangerous. Yeah. But you're right. They're going to get lazy. I mean, don't underestimate their ability to get lazy.
Just hope they don't do it to something like Deep Space Nine or whatever until it's at a good place. Because some of those shows are never going to be able to look the way they want them to unless they do go back and rebuild them from top to bottom.
You know what they could do?
A lot of Star Trek shows are like that, yeah.
That's right. They could even say, let the AI create it in a 16:9 without cropping.
That's becoming a thing now, especially with phones, because I've been seeing it and this is the dumb thing. Your phone already goes like this, kids, just so you know. But there's people that are so stupid, they want to take movies that are widescreen and make them fill out your phone like that. So you get to watch in a little area down here.
Yeah, that's
the actual
sort of
movie.
Yeah. Right.
It's so
you just turn your fucking phone.
I know.
People are walking, talking in their car. They're not going to turn it around.
Well, first of all, people watching stuff on their phone, that's just wrong in general. Other than like a YouTube video or a TikTok.
You're right.
But anyhow, we've got Joe Pat who says it would at least be better than Pauly Shore. What about Pauly Shore?
Talking about the MMA fighting or boxing, I think.
Oh yeah, who you got, Tom?
Oh yeah, that has to be it. I was wondering that myself.
Pauly Shore against who?
We were talking about Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey are going to. It was just announced they're going to
really
fight. Yeah, in May.
Yes.
Ronda's going to get her ass kicked.
Well, we'll see.
What?
She's always getting her ass kicked. Everybody forgets that.
Well, there was
not all the time, but a lot of the time she did.
No.
Twice, 2 times.
That's the only 2 times I've ever watched her then, because that's all I ever remember. I'm like, what is everybody saying about this chickie poo? This is so great.
She was undefeated until those 2 times.
See, I don't pay attention to that shit. I'm not a sports freak.
This is clear.
Sports freak. This is clear.
I'd rather watch Pauly Shore.
Yeah, there you go. Then...
Well, then again, if they're fighting in mud, that's a different story.
Yeah, well, I don't think that Netflix is paying them that much.
No.
They should.
Yeah, because they're both looking really good.
Yeah.
They're both real good looking ladies, too.
Remember when Ronda Rousey was supposed to be Captain Marvel? That was the fan thing. Everybody wanted
her
that.
Doing the She-Hulk.
That too, I think she came into it, but
yeah.
Well, that was where that would have been a no-brainer for Carano too. Yeah. But anyway, she actually has the personality for it. Jason Dougal says, how many of the multimillionaire actors or writers give a crap about the ordinary workers? Examples given: car manufacturer replaced with robots, or manufacturing in general. They don't. And this is what we've been saying here for a while is, Hollywood's squawking and squeaking about AI, but most of us out here in the general population should be worried about it, because a lot of service jobs, of customer service jobs, shit, you're getting to a point where you can roll up to a Taco Bell or McDonald's and there's not a single worker there.
Yep.
It's all AI automated. It takes your order, makes your order. Guess what? It's not all fucking all over the place like it is with the kids.
Yep.
You don't get 10 tons of mayo when you're only supposed. That's going to happen. And guess what? The better it gets, people are going to be like, you know what? Fuck that. I want that AI. And I said this not too long ago too. It's going to start happening with like therapists and doctors and other stuff. Sooner or later, we're going to be in fucking idiocracy. We're getting there faster than Mike Judge ever could have imagined. Right? Like even stuff like, look at how people dress. Literally go outside in Crocs and fucking pajama pants. That's the way they dressed in idiocracy, because they're fucking lazy, because they don't know how to tie their shoes, because they're so stupid they forgot how to tie shoes. Like that's where we're headed, and we're heading there so fucking quickly. And this AI thing is going to help that, because guess what? People are going to stop learning things. They're just going to quit. They're like, why would I become a doctor when the doctor's already an AI robot? Why would I become this? Why would I do that? And you're going to get to that point where literally almost everything we do on a daily basis, unless it requires a human being to interact with you somehow, is going to be taken over by AI. Mark my words. And we're looking at that not tomorrow, or not like 10 years from now, but like in the next few days kind of thing, like tomorrow. It's not going to be,
Well, it's already here. I mean, the illiterate
That's what I'm
rate,
saying. Like, yeah,
the literacy in California with the majority of high school kids is just,
well, all these kids,
shocking,
this whole
man.
generation, my kid's part of that, right? Like he was in a special education program, so I was a little bit different, but seeing that he wasn't learning shit in any other places. And a lot of times it was like, he would ask me questions. And it's like, Jeffrey, my mom used to force me to go to pick off an encyclopedia off the shelf because she paid so damn much for them. I had to hear about it every time, and learn something. If I asked her a question, you've got every single answer to everything in the world in your hand right there, right? All you got to do is bring up either a paper about it, a YouTube video about it, whatever it is. You can research and become a master of anything you want with that little toy you have right there in your hand. But none of you kids do this. If I was your age and I had that capability, I would have mastered so many things by the time I'd have been out of high school. I wouldn't even had to go to high school, because I'd have been able to teach myself, right? I didn't have to deal with teachers. And I just can't believe there's not more kids that have done that yet. It's just strange. But anyway, yeah, look out.
Well, that's the thing. You have to be an adult to know the situation before in order to appreciate the after. If you just take it for granted, it's a different thing, isn't it?
Absolutely. And what the thing is, like what Paulie's saying, though, is true, because these kids aren't actually retaining anything, right? They're not learning anything. They're just, because they let them use the Google and stuff in class and stuff. Now it's like, we couldn't use calculators. Now they encourage them to use calculators. It's like the whole idea is gone. I don't get it. But anyway, Dark King says Mando and Grogu is Filoni's baby, hence it sucks. Well, it's funny. I heard you guys talking about this before the show, or before I got in here on the show. I just watched that trailer too, and I didn't hate the trailer, but I'm not confident the movie is going to be very good. Because I know, Paul, you said something that I was like, I don't know about that. You said that as long as KK stayed out of this, and I had to remind you in the chat that this movie only exists because of Kathleen Kennedy's bullshit. Let's remember that. This is basically the leftovers.
I just, well, with Favreau and Star Wars, he's got
that
a
part's
history
true,
of keeping his shit away from KK. Remember, she didn't know about the baby, about Skywalker, and that's why when she got back in it, she fucked up season 3.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. This is the leftovers of that, right? So
Yeah,
we'll see how good it really is. But
yeah, I mean, I really want Favreau to knock it out of the park, because he's a fun filmmaker.
It looks like it's got some fun elements to it. I'm curious if I missed season, whatever it was, the last season 3 of Mando and Grogu, if it matters. because I checked out after the first episode
of season
Like, I'm
3
like,
or season 1.
whatever it was after the Luke Skywalker stuff.
That's 3.
Season 3. That's season 3.
when they had the Mando Chicky Poo take over.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah,
I was just like, I checked out actually technically during Boba Fett, but I watched that first episode just to see, and I'm like, no, I'm done with this. Didn't watch any of Ahsoka. So hopefully I don't have to have seen any of that crap to know what's going on, because I don't plan on catching up.
Probably you do, and this is the movie's biggest hope is, as Paulie was suggesting earlier, that you have family audiences that's just going to go in without thinking about, ooh, that looks cute, let's go. That's the one hope the movie has. Because, yeah, I guarantee you, it assumes that you will have seen everything Star Wars up until Mando Season 3, and maybe, depending on where they go, you may even be required to have seen Ahsoka Season 1. I don't think so. I think you're good as long as you have seen up until Mando Season 3, but it's going to continue from there. If you go in blind, either you're a kid that's just happy with the pretty colors on screen, but if you're a general audience, you go in unawares, I think you're going to be pretty lost pretty fast, which is the problem here. Because basically, this is the series finale in theaters. That's kind of like what it is.
I'm curious if it's that more so, which I think it is. I think you're right, Andre. Or if Favreau is smart and he managed to make this movie in a way that you would get sometimes, not every time, but sometimes with the old TV shows when they do a movie in theaters, where you'd see it and you're kind of like, yeah, it's good. TNG is a great example of this, where the characters aren't quite exactly the way they were in the show because they can't recall everything in the show right away in the movie because whatever reason, and you got different writers and people who didn't actually work on the show, but it's set up in a way for it's entertaining for that direct audience, not necessarily the television audience. Wasn't that maybe the Sex and the City movie was kind of maybe like that too, and some other ones where it just kind of felt detached from the rest of the show. The Entourage movie, I think, was kind of like that for sure. But it from the rest of the show, but it still worked, and it worked on its own, and you didn't have to have seen the entire show to get it. Wasn't the Downton Abbey, maybe that was the other one I was thinking of, was kind of like that too, perhaps.
Downton Abbey is kind of like that. Yeah, you don't need to have seen everything. Like, for instance, I haven't seen the most recent one, but the second recent one, if you hadn't seen anything, you were basically fine. But I don't think, but that's because the series had already finished before. I mean, the entire series with all the drama and stuff, it was already done, just like TNG, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like TNG.
We are still in the middle of Mando.
Technically, yes.
4. That's a difference.
If there's ever going to be a season 4, yeah, exactly.
Well, it's probably not. I mean, this is what we're getting instead of season 4. This is season 4.
That's what I think. That's what I think too. But with that, yeah. So I mean, the trailer didn't look bad though. Surprisingly, I was kind of off put by a Hutt speaking English though, or basic as they call it in this world. That was kind of weird, but not that I'm saying they can't speak basic. I'm just saying like it just was weird to hear a Hutt not speaking in Huttese. You know. But anyway, Hyperguyver says, "How about Jeanne d'Arc?" I'm probably saying that wrong.
Jeanne d'Arc.
Jeanne d'Arc casting announcement. What is that from?
Jeanne d'Arc. Jeanne d'Arc. It's a historic French woman. She's a real person. She has previously been portrayed on film by Mila Jovovich. She has now been made a black woman. The historic Jeanne d'Arc.
Oh, so it's a Netflix show.
Well, it may as well have been. It's certainly one that decides right off the bat that there's no reason to watch it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's the first I heard about it. Joan of Arc. Oh, it's Joan of Arc.
Yes.
They're making Joan of Arc black?
Yes. Joan of Arc. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, you of course, you also know her from Bill and Ted.
Well, I know some things about her besides Bill and Ted, but yeah.
Is that for real?
Yes,
I guess so.
For real.
You know, there were other saints and figures that were people of color they could do a movie on.
Like, no, I can't do that, Paulie.
That would be like undermining the message, wouldn't it? So yes, some people want to learn Well, it's a European production, I think.
Wrong screen.
Yeah, wrong one.
What the hell is that? Well, that's yours.
Yeah, that's from earlier in the.
I was trying to share this. Here's a new one from Seedens. Look at this shit. I don't know why Donatello has nunchucks all of a sudden, but I don't give a shit.
Why his screen's like so low?
There's Mikey though. He's got the right ones. Look at that though. Isn't that fucking crazy?
Man, that's pretty good.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
This is a fucking game changer, guys.
Didn't they have like a Brad Pitt fighting somebody?
Yes, that's what started this whole fucking thing. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But I've been looking for the video they had that the same company or somebody from the company made of Will Smith, where it shows the whole evolution of the spaghetti thing. And then you realize that the whole thing is like not a shot video. Like it's set up to look like Will Smith's talking about it, but it's actually all AI.
You see Will Smith's son? I wish that was AI.
I'm sure he does too at this point.
I'm sure Will Smith wishes his entire family was AI at this point. But,
well, the son was in Skid Row, downtown LA, talking about his dream business.
That should be good.
You sure he wasn't selling his ass?
I mean, he looked.
But one thing does not have to rule out the other. Can do both, you know. Yeah.
Got some daddy issues. Here's a daddy tissue, Mr.
Well, I think the mummy issues are the problem there, and they are
probably
far
right.
worse.
Not that
than
his dad is
issues.
like, look, I'm always hearing shit about Will Smith too. It's like I don't want to hear anymore. I grew up loving Will Smith, and I'm sick of this shit. Like, let the man have a redemption arc some point, please, for the love of God, because I can't do this no more. The worst he did at this point was slap a dude on stage. Come on.
Well, he needs to slap someone, but it's not another dude on stage.
No, I know, and I agree with everybody here. I've said that for years. I've been like, the one thing that this man can do to save his career right now is say fuck Jada and get the fuck out of that relationship and do a tell-all about the whole goddamn thing. If not, maybe just keep his mouth shut.
I mean, that kid, that's a movie right there. The true story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But anyhow, that being said, we need to round out here. Was there any Rumble rants I didn't see?
I don't do check.
I don't have Rumble up, but
no, I don't see any.
I'll check here.
All right.
Tom, is that video in the private chat what you're talking about?
Let me see here.
I'll check Rumble rants in the meantime.
No.
Okay.
It's actually they're outside. And Will Smith's actually talking. And like I said, at first, if you're watching it, you think it's like an actual movie or something that was actually taped. And it's Will Smith talking about the phenomenon. And then you slowly realize, wait a minute, this is actually all AI. And it's like, yeah, it's not slowly, like really quickly, you kind of figure it out.
Yeah,
but like,
but
it looks that real that you're like, whoa. But the whole thing is he's talking about how real it's getting and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Right on.
There you go. And I think we're all caught up. No Rumble rants here. With that, Andre, what we got? Paulie, what do you got coming up here?
I'll be live in about 2 hours.
Sounds good.
Stop on by.
Chris.
Well, speaking of the Mandalorian and Grogu, we're kind of talking about what the ramifications are for Favreau's job with Lucasfilm. I mean, does he have a future at Lucasfilm after this? Depends
he was
on how
talking about his Oswald project coming up here, so maybe he is moving away from Star Wars.
That's right. And a little bit more mystery deepening around the current favorite, I guess, around the to play 007. You guys are familiar with I think his last name's Callum. Gosh, I
think it's one I heard of before.
Yeah. So he's Callum Turner is his name. So they're asking. He's out promoting a new movie, and he's being asked questions about Bond, and his comments are maybe telling, maybe not. Who knows? I think he probably, based on this, I think he probably is the next James Bond, but we'll see. But that's over at bleedingfood.com.
Yeah, do check that out.
There sounds like they're going to go with like a younger Bond, and I'm sitting here going, this is a mistake. Big mistake.
Yeah, okay.
If you were smart right now, Henry Cavill. Sign for 3 to 5 movies, get it over with. So in that time you can recalibrate and start fresh with something completely different. I don't think they're headed. And I'm not a Bond fan. I'm just saying, looking as observation from the outside, looking in, going, you guys are gonna fuck this up, because all the fans really want is for you to take it back to an era where Bond was more relevant, like the '60s.
Yeah, they need to go back to the Cold War at least.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
And you need a man to play Bond, not just a fucking boy. You need a man to play Bond now, because you've had Daniel Craig and shit for the last few years and doing his John Wicky shit. People are sick of that. The last time Bond was really popular was the Pierce Brosnan era, and that's what you need to get it back to. You need to kind of get it back to the more tongue-in-cheek. You know, we're really kind of leaning into what this really is. Larry Quarterwitz, if I could speak today. Quarterwitz.
Yeah.
Quarterwitz. There you go. Hey, Midnight's Edge friends. Speaking of Pedro, good actor, but I bet Andre agrees Eddington is underrated and was snubbed from awards. One battle was Timu Ed, in my opinion. Didn't you bring this movie up, Andre? I think
I did. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I agree completely. It was snubbed. Pedro is really good in it. So is everyone. I was very pleasantly surprised by Eddington. Tremendously underrated movie. I mean, that's the one that should get all the raves as like that last battle movie, the Antifa movie. I forget the title of it even.
One battle after another.
That's the one, yes.
And they're both political movies, Eddington and One Battle After Another, right? I mean, Eddington.
I hear really, really good things about Eddington, not just from Andre.
Ari Aster, I've liked half of his movies so far. I don't like everything he does, so I kind of avoided this. But now that you guys are recommending it, I think I might check it out.
All right. Well, thank you for the final super chat there. And with that,
wait, there's a new. God, I'm losing my head here. There's a new Rumble.
Oh, there was a Rumble rant.
Yeah.
What is it? Read it to us.
Oh, it is
Deeple 101.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead if you want to.
Hashtag free mead or mead 2 electric boogaloo. When, Tom? When?
I just brought that up to Andre a couple hours ago, actually. Yes, hopefully sooner than later. The main thing is, and this is a little inside baseball, it may or may not technically exist. If you Easter egg find it, that's what happens, and you do. But before I actually officially launch it and tell everybody where it's at and how to get to it and all that kind of stuff, I want to have at least a couple videos up there. And that's the thing. Like, I know that is one thing Andre will be like, you got to have a couple things up before you launch it. Because he's in fact doing something else very similar right now.
I am. And the panelists may have seen a slight preview of something. So yeah, stay tuned. Tom is getting an expert in the Norwegian language as we're going here.
I don't know about the language part, but I'm definitely getting a lesson in your politics. And frankly, I still couldn't tell you one character from the other. I don't understand. You need better, easier names like Jim,
Joe,
and Paul,
yeah,
and Chris. See, like those are names I know.
Tom,
is not a name.
So
that's why you have to
noise you
make. Yeah,
right, Andre.
And then somebody says Gesundheit.
Tom is being stretched for this project.
Yeah,
that's why I've been a little kind of
Farfendugan.
I fucking told him last night. I'm like, you realize that this is the toughest shit. Like, of all the things that you've made me do, this is like trying to put together a puzzle with the wrong instructions, or a stereo with the wrong instructions, right? Like you're just sitting there going, toss the instructions, going, fuck, I don't know, just. I've been trying to think of a good way analogy to explain how to do. Like, there isn't. It just is. It's basically like a translation of a translation of a translation. At some point, you're just like, oof.
It's a lot of trans.
Purple monkey dishwasher. That's all I fucking know.
Yeah, that's right, Polly.
Well, so far you've nailed it. It's still 2/3 left. So.
Tom's a transphobe. I knew it. Transphobe.
Well, we all knew that. That was one of the first things I was called on this thing. I ain't got nothing against trans people. I just ain't gonna put my ding dong in them. I'm just saying.
Well, and you don't like translations.
Oh shit! Not when I got to do it. Oh shit! Yes, there you go. Building a grill with French instructions. The Homer Simpson one. Yes, that's what it's like. But Homer actually understands grills.
Are you the guy that gets the box and reads it like a Christmas story?
I like pictures. I like pictures. We got in the meantime. We got
instructions. So basically, you like IKEA instructions, the Swedish ones, which are
A goes into B goes into C. Exactly. Yeah. Garvin Ambrose sends in 5 and says, quickly typed Rumble Rant. Hi, y'all. Enjoy the snow after 50 degrees for a week. Thank you, Garvin. Thank you for reminding me. Jerk. Like, we had a thunderstorm last night in Wisconsin in February. That don't happen. But yet, he's not wrong. By the end of this week, we're going to be right back to where we started again. Fuck that groundhog. Fuck him up his little ass. If he ever sees his fucking shadow again, I'll tell you right now. Because if it happens, I'm going to be like, you son of a bitch. I was just opening the windows today and yesterday, or yesterday and the day before, and it was like, fuck this. No, do not come back. Because it was 60 fucking degrees in Wisconsin in February, which I think was a high, an all-time high on record anyway.
So, are you guys seeing any sun?
Fuck yeah.
All right.
I've been pissed because Andre's had me fucking doing videos. And I'm like, I could go out in this shit. So one time, I'm like,
well, you just have to finish the video faster.
He could
By
go
the time
out.
I finish it, it's the middle of the night.
Yeah, well, we have to hurry up and finish now. So you can
I'm lucky I got like 5 minutes left on this one that'll probably be done sometime this afternoon. So
isn't there like 3 of them you got to do or something?
Oh, fuck. There's probably 2 or 3 more waiting that I'm just going like, I don't even want to think about it. I even told Andre, I don't even know which one I'm working on anymore. I can't tell the difference between any of them. Okay.
Is it in another language?
No, but they're all about this stuff I don't know about. And it's like, who are these fucking people? And I finally realized that all men in Norway look like Andre.
Well, hopefully they're paying the bills, Andre, right? That's what
I hope so.
Oh, that's the plan. Yeah.
So that makes looking for pictures more difficult, by the way. But yeah.
I had a similar experience when I was in Russia for the first time. I was like, damn, everyone here looks like Putin. And then I figured, no, wait, it's actually Putin that looks like everyone.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's the same thing in Wisconsin, just in smaller concentration. We all do kind of look like me, even the ladies. So it's like, Gimli says in Lord of the Rings, we're not even sure if there are Wisconsin women. We just look for the ones that don't have as much beards, I guess. Yeah. But anyhow, with that, let's get the hell out of here. Chris has got to go. We all got to go. Take care of yourselves and each other. And with it, Andre.
And indeed, and we have to get ready. So you all can see what Tom has been working on. It was frustrating for him, but I promise it'll be interesting for many of you.
I think all right, with that section of people, yes.
Yeah, be sure to check out the channels of everyone involved here, and come back later, and stay tuned for more, and enjoy some koalas in the rain.
Koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain, no fucks given. Koalas in the rain.